You guys remember how a simple paper clip or jumper wire would solve most of life's problems? Take for example your old 79 Jag. Remember when it hit 30 below zero and yeah, of course the ignition key froze up. And of course you had about 6 or 7 pints in you by this time and you wanted to go joyriding with your friends and of course you couldn't start your machine because the key was froze shut. We all remember those days, right? So what you do is you would take a jumper wire or a paper clip and fuse the two wires together so that it would be constant continuity between the ignition wires, and what you would have is power to your ignition coil so you could run your machine. Well, even same goes for your friend's old 79 Pontiac when he all of a sudden got sick and tired of you taking his car and going down by the lake to go show off that little redhead that was living outside of town about 3 miles. Remember her? Yeah. But even to this day, that a simple jumper wire or a paper clip like this can still solve life's little problems. Or, more specifically, your airbag light. Now, I'm not saying that this kind of old school way will fix everything, but it will fix some things. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to reset the airbag light on this old Honda. Okay, so first things first, what you're going to want to do is that it doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you are working on, you're going to have a kick plate here, and what you're going to want to do is remove that kick plate. Most of them are fastened by either a 10 millimeter bolt with a 10 mil socket is what you're going to need to remove it, but instead we are dealing with a Phillips screws here instead. So like I say, different applications are going to be different, right? So what you're going to want to do is remove all of them and remove this kick plate until you are exposed, until you see your airbag wires exposed. And holy Toledo! Okay, and before you get too excited, you're going to want to take this cap off. Very straightforward. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you guys through this real quick, and I'm going to be as very informative as possible here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little flat spade screwdriver, we're going to open up this cap, and I'm going to remove it so we can get inside here, so we can get a look at our components. Just bear with me for 2 seconds here. Okay, just like so. Now what you're going to want to do, now actually before I get any further here, you know how when you turn your ignition key on, your airbag light will stay on. If the system is functioning normally, the light will stay on for about 5 seconds or so, and then the light will go out. This is to inform you that the system is in fact functioning normally the way it should. If there is a fault with the system, the airbag light will stay steady lit. So what you're going to want to do here is you're going to take your jumper wire and you're going to plug this in to these to the two terminals that are located on this plug here. You're going to connect them together. I got to shorten up the one lead here. I got it too long. So we're going to plug it in like this. Just like so. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to demonstrate for you guys on how this is going to work. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn the key on. This light in the very bottom corner is my airbag light. This light here is what you want to focus on, because for this demonstration you're going to have to focus your attention on this airbag light. Plus down here, if you can see my finger, see this yellow pigtail? This is where our jumper wire is going to connect. Now this wire, this pigtail isn't very long, so unfortunately due to the characteristics of this vehicle, this is the only camera angle that's any good to us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the key to the off position. I'm going to plug in my pigtail, my jumper wire here. I'm going to straighten out the prongs a little bit. I'm going to plug it in to the connector, just like so, if everybody can take note of that, just like so. Okay, it's plugged in. I'm going to take my ignition key, I'm going to turn the key into the run position. Now like I said before, keep your face away from the airbag, especially when you are servicing any airbag component. Safety always first, right? There is nothing that is going to ever happen, but it's always good to be precautious. You never know, something could happen. It's in the automotive field, it's usually called a fluke. And believe me, flukes do happen. Actually, it happens anywhere, not even in the automotive sector. Turn the key to the on position. The airbag light will stay steady lit for the usual 6 to 8 second duration, the way it normally should if it was functioning properly. Once the light goes out, remove your jumper wire. Once the light goes back on, install your jumper wire. Do this in a quick motion. Light goes out, pull your wire. That didn't sound very healthy, did it? A little automotive humor for you guys if you guys are paying attention. The light will flash 3 times if the procedure was done properly. If the light stays out, well then you know you have it right. So keep in mind, remember, if the light is on, plug in your connector, your jumper wire. Connect them together, light goes out, disconnect your jumper wire. Light comes back on, plug your wire back into the connector, light goes out, unplug the wire from the connector. And if this is done properly, the light should flash 3 times and the light should go out. If there is no problem with the airbag system, the light should stay out after the 6 second duration. Once the key is on, the light is going to illuminate for the 6 to 8 seconds to let you know that the system is functioning and that the light is actually working. Remember, this is going to happen every time you turn the key to the run position. The key is in the run position. 5-6 seconds. Light goes out. There you go. Now, what you're going to want to do is take your pigtail, your cover, plug that back in, restore your kick plate, and away you go. Your vehicle is now ready for the highway once again. Just like so. Restore the wire. And that's all systems go. Alright, so very basic procedure actually. The light, so let's recap. The light will flash 3 times after this procedure has been done properly. So like I say, you need about 2 or 3 attempts for this to work. On the 3rd attempt, that's when the light should flash. That's when you know all systems are go. You can remove your jumper wire and your airbag light should go out. So let's recap on the procedure. Step 1, install your jumper wire, turn the key to the run position, light should go out. Once the light goes out, pull out your jumper wire. 2 seconds later, the light will come back on. So don't be thinking about taking a coffee break or anything while you're doing this procedure, because you have to be right there. Once the light comes back on, because you got a 3 to 5 second time frame for this. Once the light comes back on, install your jumper wire. Alright, so I hope that helped some of you. So all you have to remember, quick rule of thumb, light comes on, insert your jumper wire, light goes out, start pulling your wire. You sick-minded